I'm a seahorse dad and I get hate for breastfeeding my baby. I've been medically transitioning about 6 years. So me carrying a child, no, I did not see that coming at all. Here goes the bump update. The reaction that I'd gotten behind the whole breastfeeding video, it got a lot of backlash. You do not belong on this planet carrying a child. Men don't carry babies. Go ahead and go back to where you came from. The worst thing said about me breastfeeding my child is that one day he'll end up dying because I'm pumping too much testosterone into his body. They got the best of me real bad. The typical day for Z and I. He typically doesn't wake up till about 12 o'clock. So I usually just get up. I'll watch a couple shows or whatnot and then I get him up. And then we'll do our content creating, making videos, going live. My name is Tanais Posey. I am 31. I am a full-time content creator.
Something awesome came in the mail today, and it's the brand new Litter Robot 4. This is the biggest lifesaver because
My son's name is Zenaias, and he is currently 11 months today. I'm a seahorse dad, and I get hate for breastfeeding my baby. A seahorse dad is, we utilize that within the trans community because the seahorse, the dad carries the baby. And within the trans community, the father carries the baby. So hence the reason as to why we utilize the seahorse dad hashtag, just because we're fathers. From a kid on up, it's always been something off. As to what it was, I never knew exactly what it was. I've been medically transitioning about 6 years, and I didn't really know anything about transitioning until I came across a coworker, first trans individual. I always knew something was off, but I didn't know exactly what it was until we were on break or whatnot, and just so much of him clicked. So I mean, we had communicated for quite some time or whatnot, and then I had looked into it myself, and it just went from there. I finally found myself. Once I began my transition, I felt a hole. Even though I went through the whole transition or whatnot, I honestly felt as if me having a child was out of the window because I mean a lot of doctors say that you can't carry, you've got to freeze your eggs. So me carrying a child, no, I did not see that coming at all. So when I had found out I was pregnant, I was actually going in thinking I had COVID. And then went to the hospital or whatever because I was sick for like a couple days. Went in thinking I had COVID and then, hey, you're 3 months. I had gotten pregnant on testosterone. So mind you, I went 3 months of my pregnancy, found out I was pregnant, and I had to cut off testosterone cold turkey, which was hell. It was just cold turkey, I couldn't be on it. It was definitely one hell of a roller coaster. I did not want to breastfeed him at all, but when it came to me getting further along into the pregnancy or whatever, I was kind of against the whole formula. I mean, we know best, fed is best, and I just wanted a good head start when it came to my son or whatever, so I'm like, screw it. I think what got me was I was worried about what society had to say about me feeding. The reason why I began to start sharing my chest feeding journey because you don't see any trans men on there, even nursing or whatever, and there's a lot that want to. I was just scrolling on TikTok or whatever, and I didn't really see trans of color really just sharing being pregnant or whatnot. I started from filming the whole breastfeeding journey or whatever to normalize it. The reaction that I'd gotten behind the whole breastfeeding video, men don't nurse their babies, he's gonna live a corrupt life because he's feeding off of a man. A lot of the comments came from trans individuals within their own community. A lot of them. You're not trans enough because you carried your baby. You're not trans enough because now you're nursing your baby. You're making the rest of us look bad. Another comment that's always said on my videos, you do not belong on earth. Men don't carry babies. Go ahead and go back to where you came from. It's said all the time. The worst thing said about me breastfeeding my child is that one day he'll end up dying because I'm pumping too much testosterone into his body. It got a lot of backlash. It got the best of me real bad. But I'm like, maybe if I were to continue sharing it might be able to help the next individual. There's plenty of us that are out and proud about it and carrying kids, but you've got to stop living under a rock and realize that it's okay.
Why do you feel that you should be able to breastfeed your child as a man?
I've got the parts to be able to. I mean, just because I transitioned does not mean I strip myself from wanting to give my child the nutrients and the good little head start or whatnot. I mean, I've got it. Why not utilize what I've got? Is it easy? No, not at all. Come on. I'll lose my head if it's attached. We are getting ready to go to the park to meet up with Felicia. It's right down the road, not too far. Hey, how goes it?
Hey.
Oh.
How you guys
There she
doing
goes,
today?
Easy.
Hi, Pumpkin. What's the matter?
He's hot.
I know it is warm out.
He's so hot.
I feel like the hate that Tanias receives is ridiculous. I feel like people should mind their business when it comes to certain things, because at the end, the child's happiness and safety should be number one. Tanias should be able to breastfeed in public because the baby gets hungry in public.
Big man.
It's something that every other person needs to do. It's not like it's hurting anybody else.
I feel like I should breastfeed, chest feed, whatever, in public just because my child has to eat. I mean, I can't just sit there and starve him, because then it's child neglect if I were to go without feeding him. And then that's going to be the next issue, is he's not being fed. So, I mean, he's got to eat. He doesn't take a bottle, so, I mean, I got to feed him.
It's the dimples for me.
A couple days ago, somebody had said he's going to resent me as he gets older, once he finds out who and that I carried my baby, and he's going to be so confused or whatnot because he doesn't have a mom and a dad.
That's weird to me, because like half these kids don't grow up with both their parents anyway, and what makes a difference as long as you love your baby as much as you possibly can.
My response to the haters is that we've got to stop living under a rock. We've got to open up our eyes and realize that there's way more than one way to live. There are trans individuals. There are same-sex households. They are all different, and if they were to take that into consideration, there'd probably be a lot less bullying, and the suicide rate would go down, because we're not living as just one way. My advice to any other trans individual that is carrying a child or wanting to carry a child, it is okay. We've got the parts to be able to. It does not make us any less of a man. We are still a man, regardless of how society feels about us. Utilize the parts you got to carry a child.